Good morning, everybody. It's day 91, and survived last night. So rained a little bit, but nothing major. The wind kind of died down after a while. So once the wind died down, nothing fell on the roof here and made any loud noises. But I can see a widowmaker right above the shelter too. See if I can get it on the camera here. You can see that dead branch that's broken off up there, but it's not a big deal because the way this particular shelter is constructed, it's got the concrete around it there. Concrete. So, the concrete's not gonna smash in a tree falling down. And not to mention, it's just a branch. It's not like the whole tree. So, okay, night. I didn't, sleep as good as I probably could, but I didn't get terrible sleep either. Definitely a mouse trying to roam around in there, and so I just kind of put a barrier around me and let him do what he wants to do. So they're gonna do what they want to do anyway. It's about a 7:20 start time this morning. It's definitely harder to get up. It's definitely harder to get up now for some reason than it was. I mean, it's just getting dark. It's getting light later a little bit, so it's throwing things off a little bit. So I got squirrels that are active up there knocking down pine, whatever the hell those things are. They're little like acorns or something. So I got water. Forgot to bring my camera up there, so there's a spigot up there. It's a retreat center. It's not a lodge, it's a retreat center. There's like nobody there, but there's water there and a spigot, and it's super fast too. Like you could fill up a liter in a matter of a few seconds. Anyways, I'm gonna get on the road here at 13.6 to do to the shelter, and matter of fact, that it's gonna be a little bit slow going, I think, today, just until the sun comes out and dries all the rocks out. I may have to put my silk blazing hat on. We'll see. Just because if the rocks are wet, it just makes it even more dangerous and hard. So I want to go a little bit slower, I think. So far, these are dry, but the pack weighs a ton still, and that also is a factor as well because my knit legs just buckle more. What was I going to talk about? I was going to ask, I was going to say something, but, oh yeah, the shelters. Why don't I stay in the shelters more often? There's pros and cons to staying in a shelter, like I did last night. It's going to rain. I prefer to be in the shelter. If it's going to be windy, I prefer to be in the shelter, although, there's been times where it's rain or it's windy and I just decide to tent. But if there's going to be people in there, then I'd just rather be in my tent because it's more private. There was nobody here last night. It just made sense to stay in the shelter. It was quicker and easier and didn't have to worry about the rain or the wind. But you also have to understand that those things are sometimes, 70 years old, 50 years old, 40 years old. The things are super old. So there's a lot of, nasty stuff in there. Critters and probably, who knows what else, like just diseases and shit. They're just dirty. So I'm just, want to talk about that right quick here. It does make things a little bit quicker in the morning, but not like, I don't think it's totally worth it to just discount staying in your tent. I'd rather have a dry tent though, because the tent gets waterlogged and all that. So definitely gonna be slower going today. I heard that, I don't know, we'll see. Somebody mentioned, I was looking up last night, what's the hardest, what's the rockiest portion of Pennsylvania, and somebody said between this shelter that I'm going to to DWG, which is Delaware Water Gap, which we've already done. So, I don't know. We'll see. Right now, this isn't that bad. It is a 13-mile section, though, so I know there's some parts that are pretty gnarly from the pictures that I've seen. So far, this is not that big of a deal. This isn't even that bad right here, what we're seeing. Sure, if it gets more gnarly, more and more gnarly than I've seen before or ever before, then I'll get the camera out and show you what I'm talking about. But this is nothing here. I can move along pretty quickly in this. Could be overhyped too. But I've also heard people say that their feet got wrecked, like, oh my God, I had to take a zero, I couldn't walk. So I don't know. Maybe they just never seen anything like this before. Alright, I'll put the camera away, hang it up, play in the woods, and probably put my silk blazing hat on and tread lightly. Alright, later. Well, it's getting a bit more gnarly. You can see the white blaze there, and up. They threw a blue blaze in for this. This is like 0.2 back, saying Wolf Rocks Bypass Junction 1 mile AT or whatever. So I'm like, that's probably gonna get gnarlier. This is not what they're talking about, though. This right here is not what I've heard everybody talk about. Yeah, this is gnarly. It's not like I've not done anything like this before. As a matter of fact, I kind of like this. But I'm still talking about like miles of flat rocks that you can't walk on, or they're just pointed and sharp. That's what everybody talks about. So anyways, I'm gonna push on through this. When I get to a different section that I'm talking about, we'll see. If I see any views, we'll hang it out, we'll unhang it, and we'll get the views. So far it's just been a rock hop, boulder jump. This is the way we're going. It's not a big deal, though. I mean, yeah, it's slow, but it's not really that big of a deal either. So I know there's definitely some more spots of what people have been talking about coming up, but this is not that big of a deal. It's just slow. So, but I'm not even for the most part, I'm not even using the trekking poles. It's because I'm using the phone. But so just wanted to bring you along, let you know what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and so far this isn't that bad. But I do expect to get to the point where, I don't know if it's today or if it's going to be somewhere else, like tomorrow or the next day, where people keep talking about pointy rocks, jagged rocks, that you can't do anything. You can't put your foot anywhere without avoiding them. So, I don't know. Trying to watch for snakes too. Is there a view over there? Not really. Alright, I'm gonna hang it up, make a little time, and be careful. A little view here. Barely see out, but clouds in the distance. Sitting on these rocks. I gotta go that way. Like over here. Alright. Rocky, it's been off and on with different types. Like this here is not, this is, just semi-annoying. It's not really that big of a deal. Every once in a while they throw what I would call like the worst of the worst in there. But I never get the camera out because it's gone by the time I, even think about it. So if there's an extended portion like that, I'll definitely want to record it. This is not bad. Helps being 6 foot, of course, because you can step over, a lot of the stuff and just get to the flat, get to the ground, or get to a flat rock. This is not bad right here at all. Just, if I can find the section that I'm talking about, which I would call like, oh, this is terrible. It's only been a couple of times I've seen it, and it didn't last very long. And that's what I expect. I expect to see more of that. Because this isn't bad. Alright, I'm going to hang it up. It's been a few hours. Rock sections have, gotten worse. They've gotten easy. They've gotten worse. They've gotten easy. It's hard to explain. Still, I think there's a section, or I could think of something that could be worse. This is not as bad as I thought so far. I can definitely think of, even did a little small section of it just, a few hours back, but it just didn't last long enough to get the camera out. But I'm talking about like completely just loose rocks, no ground to step on, and they're pointed and jagged, and when you step on them they move, and so luckily it hasn't been a lot of that. This stuff's not that bad. It's about 6 miles to the shelter. I expect some downhill to start any moment. It would go down, go to a road. Should be, I think there's a motel I'm gonna get water from, and then go across. I'm sure you probably go across the road, and then you got to go up 400 or 500 feet. I'm going to be carrying in the water from that motel, so I'll probably carry in like 2.5 liters for roughly about 4 miles. There is water at the shelter, but it's a really rough, like 0.5 downhill, from what I understand. So I'd rather not do that at all, or have to do it only one time. So we'll see. I got to see where the next water source is after the shelter, to see if I can even make it. I'm not cooking anymore, so that'll cut down on water as well. So it's roughly a little after 11. I think it's like 11:40 now that I think about it. Still making actually pretty good time despite the rocks. I'd say my ankles are a little more sore than usual, just because of all the awkward positions they've gotten stuck in, but so far not too bad. So I'm just one-handing this here, and I don't know where the downhill is going to start, but it's a pretty significant downhill, like 400 or 500 feet, I think. So it should be interesting to see if it's rocky the entire way, because that'll That'll definitely be slow going. All right, I'm gonna hang it up now and concentrate on these rocks. All right, we'll rock you later. I saw one of these yesterday or the day before. This one right here, or that stage. Red and spot on the back. I saw one of those, it was yesterday or the day before, and I actually thought it was a candy wrapper. So I just like, I'm not gonna pick that up. Like somebody left some candy out here or whatever, left a candy wrapper out here, I'm not gonna pick that up. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I was in kind of in a rhythm and all that, and I saw that and I was just like, let it go. And turns out it wasn't a candy wrapper. It was a spotted lantern fly or whatever. So almost all the way down here, luckily for me, it was not rocky coming down, or I mean, it's just stuff like, you know, the normal down, but it was pretty steep. I haven't seen a steep one like that in a while. So I'm gonna go over to the hotel or motel and get some water, and then probably head right back up. Alright, just got water. Motel back there. So I'm completely full. 2.5 liters. I could technically carry a little bit more, but I'm not gonna cook. Probably spend 1 liter getting there, and that'll give me 2 liters. I mean, and there's water there, so I mean, worst comes to worst, I can do the dreaded big downhill that nobody likes to do, because it's like apparently a pretty big nobody's like, I don't want to come back up this. Like, it was really rough. So, but there's water there, so I have an option to get water. This question is what's the water look like tomorrow? That's the question, right? I can make it through the night with this, no problem. It's just the water for tomorrow. So anyways, trail's right up here, but I don't like walking next to the road unless I'm on the other side. So I make it up here quick before cars come. All right, we'll check you later. I have a view here from the side of what I went up. Almost all the way up. All right. Look at those. That's those things they're talking about. Different stage. Oh yeah. There's a view beyonder. Due to the power lines providing some flux capacitors, of course, we got a clearing, so probably losing some brain cells right now, probably ones I don't need anyway. Anyways, 0.2 to the shelter. It's like 320. What's going on, everybody? So, already had dinner. Haven't quite set up my, actually in the shelter. I'm probably going to stay in here again. I haven't blown up my mattress or anything yet. Just wondering if anybody else is going to show up. So, already had dinner, already hung the bear bag, already brushed my teeth. Filtered water. Just going to get ready to edit this video and get ready for the night. Gonna do a little bit more miles tomorrow. Could have done more miles today. Actually, my legs felt great. Despite the rocks all day, which they were a little sore from that, but energy-wise, I have a lot of energy. Now it should be interesting to see if it dies off tomorrow, just because, I came out of town, 2 days ago, and ate a lot of food that night and had some, smoothies in the morning and stuff. So, if that's the key, then, I can do that next time I go into town. So I'm going to try to go into Hamburg, which is, it's like 56 miles away from here. So I'd like to hit that, oh gosh, 3 days, but that's going to be a stretch. I don't have enough food to get there if it takes 4. So 3 would be ideal, and I really don't have enough food to get there either. But there's a couple places before I might be able to pick up a couple of things to get me there. So we'll see. So yeah, carrying the extra food. I'm eating better, I think. So the bag's heavy, but it didn't feel that bad today. I carried a lot of extra water too, so it didn't feel that bad. Like later on, I rebalanced some stuff as well. I'm probably gonna get rid of the cook set, and because I'm not gonna probably cook anymore. So yeah, that's probably just what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna get ready to throw this in the video and go ahead and edit it and get it ready for upload whenever I get a chance to go to a town again. So probably Hamburg, because there's a Walmart there. So I don't know if I'll stay in town, but I'll need to be able to charge my batteries at minimum and do a resupply. So alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Looking at probably doing like a 16-mile day tomorrow, but I really need to push past that. It's just there's a shelter at 16 miles, and kind of makes sense to stay at the shelter. So alright, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.